Alright, welcome back to the Death Toll Garage. Today we're going to build this the cross member. And this is actually after I already started filming an episode of doing the serpentine system. And that turned into a complete and utter disaster. So that episode's going to be later. Anyway, so when you see up there later, you'll see the front of the motors all taken apart. But anyway, so we're going to have to put a bunch of new parts on that motor and stuff, so it kind of sucks. But it's okay. We'll get it. I know we talked about this in earlier episodes, but in case you haven't watched the earlier ones, so this is the bearing we're going to use. It's a industrial spherical that's sealed, and then it's in a housing that I'm repurposing. This is one I use these for gates, but in this situation, I'm just going to repurpose this housing, so we're going to actually weld this in. Those will be hidden. You won't see them. So what I got set up here is this is center line of our steering box. Before I forget, for now I tightened the hole saw up so I can get it started so that it's not loose. And then once I get a nice groove down, I'll loosen it up and then drop that thing down like you're supposed to in the holes. But I wanted it real tight so when we started, so it would make a nice scratch without wobbling all over the place, which those kind of do. But anyway, so that's the center bearing. So what I'm going to do is drill that down, and basically the top of this will just be flush with the tube, so it's going to go down 1.25 inches. And then we'll drop that in there, position it so our set screw and our grease fitting are accessible on the right side. I'm going to put the grease fitting going forwards so that so that it's easier to grease, because the one on the back side will be hard because the steering arm is there. So anyway, so that'll be like that. So that's going to be welded into our tube like that. And then these are the sides. So I guess picture that welded on the end there, and so that'll be bolted up to the car. These are Legoed together like that. That'll be bolted up on the car on either side, and then I have them so they're adjustable. One's adjustable in out, one's adjustable side to side. So I'm going to put the side to side one on this side so it's close to the steering box, so that for serviceability, when we unbolt this thing, it'll be easier to get it bolted back up. You'll get the most adjustment out of it there. If we put the side-to-side one on that side, you wouldn't get much motion on this side. And then the end-to-end one will be on that side, so that'll get us our side-to-side motion there, like that. So these are the plates. They're drilled and tapped. They'll weld onto the frame. And then we'll, after we get them welded on, we'll through drill them and then run the tap back through them so that the frame will be part of it as well. It's all made of 3/8 plate. It's pretty nice. They're lasered out. I'll have to clean them up and stuff, but they're pretty good. So both plates are the same, and they're just drilled, so everything centered will be how we set it up, and then that way as things move around, it'll bolt up every time, hopefully. So that's what we're doing there. Move those off there. I'm going to turn on my hole saw here, and we'll get going on it. You want to kind of go slow with these, and then once you're through the top, you're going to really want to go really slow, or you'll break the teeth off doing the walls of the tubing. Anytime you're using a hole saw on metal like that, anytime you're thin going up, you'll just break teeth off. They break off very easy. So. That was fun. A couple technical difficulties there. My hole saw, my chuck didn't like this big hole saw. But now we just take the cut off wheel and we'll just cut that off, and then our piece will come out, and then we can get back to business. Perfect. Just like that. Perfect. So that worked out really good. So now I just have to position that right where I want it, make sure I got it pointing the right way. And then we'll tack it in there. I'm not going to weld it up yet. I'm going to wait until we make sure everything works before we make everything too permanent. But yeah, so that's that. So I tacked that in there centered. I put these on flush, made sure they were going the right way and on the right side. And then tacked those on. Just everything's really lightly tacked right now. And now I'm gonna bolt our plate on. Oops, I did that wrong. I'm gonna just bolt our plates on real quick. And I'm having to use a nut and a bolt since I don't have any bolts short enough that won't stick through and interfere with us getting these on there. Okay. Take the foil out. Cool. Yeah, that'll work really good. Sweet. So it's definitely going to work. It's I don't think our bearing head isn't bottomed out on the bottom of the tube, which is good. We'll go ahead and weld it up, and then we'll put it on, it should be pretty much done, other than taking it back off to paint it when we're done. So I got it all welded, so we're going to throw it up. I got a little jack stand, one of the jack stands that we'll throw up underneath it, and then we can position it right and get it tacked up. Hopefully this thing will slip on there. That's going to be the hardest part. There you go. Okay, there. That looks really good. I like that. It doesn't look like a moron did it, so that's good. I like that. That turned out cool. Alright, I am going to tack these pads just like that. Really good. There's some spacing here, so we will I'll tack it on the side where it's actually touching, and we'll actually put a spacer in there because I don't want it to pull too much when we weld it up, because the frame's made of two pieces of metal and they kind of overlap. So this side has a gap and that side sits nice and flat. So I will do that, and then we will shim it, and then I'm going to weld them up, and then we'll bolt it back. We'll drill the holes all the way through the frame. Run a tap through it, and then we'll tighten it back up and make sure everything's still hunky-dory. Okay, so I got them welded. I'm going to go ahead and drill them now while they cool. But I don't think I really want to run the tap through them until they're all the way cool. But so all I have to do is just use the tap pilot drill. Try not to take out your threads that you already got. And then we'll punch through, and then I'll just run the tap back through them, and that'll be good. And then all I have to do is bolt it on. So I'm going to do all that, and then I'll get it all bolted on there, and I'll show you what it looks like all done, and that'll be it. Super cool cross member, you know, way better than what was there, and you know, we couldn't have done any better on a support for our steering box. So yeah, so I'm super happy with it. It turned out cool. It looks cool. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you later this week. I got all our coilover brackets and stuff, so I'm going to start doing that while I'm waiting on parts now for the front of the motor, which sucks. But anyway, so stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.